So I have been getting almost a lot of hate commentary regarding the South African option. A lot of people are bothered. A lot of people, I feel they're jealous. And the biggest problem they have with South Africa is that it's how unsafe it is. Now, that's absolute bullshit. Of course, there is stuff going on, and it's as unsafe as, let's say, Latin America is. When you use common sense, if you pick the right areas, it's not that unsafe. It's quite fun. I'm going to leave a link in the description to a recent vlogger, beautiful couple. They visited South Africa, Johannesburg. They had a vlog. Very recently, they traveled and they had a wonderful time. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. I personally love the city. I work with one of the best attorneys in South Africa. Wonderful lady. So if you are interested in the South African option, you can always click the link in the description, book a call with us. We can discuss what you're looking for and get you started with this great option. Now, one of the biggest problems that these people have is that how unsafe it is and how you can't live there, etc., etc., etc. Now, when the same people, right, sell the Caribbean passports, they never talk about the residency. They keep marketing and pitching that you never have to go there, you never have to set foot, and you can have your passport in the convenience of your home. All you got to do is shell out that donation. Now, that's understandable, right? There's a huge, hefty commission that comes out of that donation. If it is a big real estate golden visa style investment, then there are property commissions. So it only makes sense that they don't want you to travel, just sit at home and get your benefit by shelling out huge amounts of cash. But when there's an option like South Africa or Mauritius or any of the African countries, suddenly they talk about how you can't live there, you can't go there, it's unsafe and blah, blah, blah. All right. So I wanted to provide my response to such people. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, my name is Jay, and here we discuss investments that lead to residencies, citizenships, and a whole lot more. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the breaking news, updates, analysis, and all of that stuff, right? So make sure you turn on that bell notification so you're instantly notified of all the latest developments and, most importantly, my analysis on any of these news breaks, right? Let's jump on to the first option, which is South Africa. It has three very big advantages, and I have covered this in some of my previous videos. If you have missed my previous coverage on South Africa, you can return and take a look at this link. This talks about a lot of the details of the program, but at a high level, it has three major benefits. The first one being it's a very low investment option. Second, it is a flexible residency. Third, it leads to citizenship. South Africa allows dual citizenship, so in 5 years you can actually be you can qualify for the South African citizenship. Now, if you are a Westerner, right, you have a Western passport. Let's say you're a Canadian, American, Australian, New Zealand, right, any of these countries, you already have a strong Western passport with a certain style of access. Something like a South Africa adds a lot of that exotic collection of access, right? So your Western takes care of some, but the South African passport complements your Western access. It is classic diversity. Now, a lot of people say it's unsafe. Maybe it is the safest plan B option, right? So you should think about this holistically. Now, secondly, because I said it's flexible, you get the opportunity to select the days that you spend, right? You can obviously pick and choose the best areas to feel safe, use common sense. Because it is flexible, you get the time to assess the situation. And then accordingly, when you feel that you have a good grasp or grip of the location you want to be at, then you can you can beef up your time in the country, and then you can eventually work towards that all important South African citizenship if that is something that you intend to pursue. The threshold, right? The investment threshold is the big problem with a lot of people. The permanent residency is very low. It actually costs $6,800 US, and I'm only talking about the government fees. Obviously, there'll be some lawyer fees and some other processing fees, but at $6,800 US approximately in those government fees, you can qualify for the South African permanent residency. Obviously, there's some criteria. You have to have certain net worth, which is quite modest. Most of the people should be able to have that kind of net worth. Net worth is a collection of all your assets, movable, immovable, etc. Again, when you book that call, if you're interested, we can walk you through all the different steps and also hook you up with the right legal help who can take your application forward. So that is South Africa. I think it is the plan B of the future. So all the negative commenters, all the negativity that you see, take it with a grain of salt. There is some sort of a interest. They don't like it because they can't market it, because they can't make much out of it. So that is where all of that BS comes from. So as long as you filter that out, you should be good, right? So that is South Africa. So South Africa is a plan B on a budget, is what I feel. It has certain very unique benefits which sets it apart, like the dual citizenship, the flexible permanent residency, the low amount permanent residency. But it is a plan B on a budget. For me, I feel from a plan B perspective, it is quite safe. You just have to use common sense. You should be good. The second option is Mauritius. Again, in the Africas, I'm covering the two African nations here, right? There's Gambia, there's a bunch of other great countries which are also very safe. But Mauritius here is pretty unique. The only option, the only thing, the news that you keep hearing from marketers, if any, from Mauritius is the 375 in real estate investment. Obviously, that gets them that hefty real estate based commissions. They only talk about that. The other options would not make them that much money. But there are two other options which are very interesting. Again, I work with one of the best attorneys in Mauritius. So if you are interested in starting your Mauritius plan B, you can always reach us. We can again discuss and connect you with the right legal help who can take you forward in your process. So the two other options are at $1,000 US. Again, these are government fees. There'll be attorney charges or beyond that. That's but obvious. But you're looking at that $1,000 approximate USD in government fees, right? And then what are the criteria? The first criteria is you start a business, a certain capital in the business. Again, you're not donating this stuff. It's your operating capital. So if the business route works best for you, then that's a great jurisdiction to start a business. So you invest that capital in your own business, pay the $1,000 in the government fees and other, lawyer fees, etc. And then that way you can qualify for the Mauritius residency. The second option or the third option of qualifying for the Mauritius residency is that, let's say you're retired, you can straight away qualify for the residency. And again, the cost is $1,000 approximately. That's the government fees. Again, other fees extra. So these are the three convenient options. Mauritius would make more sense if you are directly jumping on to spending more time in the country, right? You're really looking for a premium, safe, beautiful, exotic location. Then Mauritius is better than South Africa in those terms. But if you're looking for exotic and you are a risk taker, right? You are well versed, you are street smart, you have a good brain working for you, you have common sense, then South Africa is equally good. It's equally safe in those aspects. And South Africa is unique in the sense that it has that dual citizenship. It has that flexible residency. Mauritius is unique in the sense that it's much more safer for your family, much more, you'll have a better time on the ground, a more safer time on the ground as compared to some of the other options. So I hope you liked the comparison. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.